A new study from the Center for Immigration Studies revealing that 1,750,000 immigrants entered this country in 2016. That ties an all-time record for immigration, and it continues what has been a major surge in immigration beginning in 2011. And if you're wondering how many of those immigrants are illegal, so were we. So we called the CIS. They said they based their study on the U.S. Census. The census doesn't distinguish between legal and illegal immigrants. But it could. In just 2 years, President Trump has ordered a citizenship question to be added to the 2020 census, and the Supreme Court has supported the Commerce Department in doing so to this point. A new Yale-MIT study puts the illegal immigrant population in this country now at more than 22 million, perhaps as many as 30 million, far more than the Dems and the rhinos, the national left-wing media, and of course the business establishment have suggested we're in this country by a factor of somewhere between 2 times as many to 3 times as many. Joining me now to discuss the president's focus on border security and closing immigration loopholes, the battle over birthright citizenship, Congressman Louie Gohmert. He's a member of the House Judiciary Committee, the Republican Study Committee, the House Freedom Caucus. And for Congressman Gohmert, border security is very important as he represents a significant part of a significant state by the name of Texas. Good to have you with us, Congressman. First,
always good to be with you, Lou.
Great to see you. Let's weigh in first on birthright citizenship, its importance, and the reaction of your speaker, Paul Ryan, questioning the President of the United States on the issue.
Well, it just shows that our speaker once again has gotten terrible advice from whoever he listens to about our Constitution. And in fact, Lou, you know, we've been trying to undo Obamacare, and the Constitution requires that anything that raises revenue must originate in the House. The Obamacare bill totally originated in the Senate except for the number of the House bill. And all we had with the lawyers in the case trying to get the Supreme Court begged us to do a sense of the House that bill did not originate in the Senate, that they felt like that would help knock all of Obamacare out. Right. But Paul said, no, they're telling me that it's decided.
Who was they? Was that the Business Roundtable, or was it the Chamber of Commerce?
Well, it is, and apparently there is. They listen better to them than they do the actual constitutional experts. But the president is 100% right. And if you go back to the debate, and I know you have, I mean, Senator Lyman Trumbull said that the reason they added that language, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, and he was chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, right, said that phrase meant not owing allegiance to anybody else, and I'm quoting, and that partial allegiance, if you please, to some other government is disqualifying. Another senator said this will not, of course, include persons born in the United States who are foreigners, who are aliens, or who belong to families of ambassadors. So it was around the 1960s and that even without an executive order, our federal government just started giving citizenship to people that the
we didn't really
14th Amendment originator said they don't get it.
You know, like so many things in politics, the law of physics does apply. With the explosion in the welfare system in this country in the 60s, that's when illegal immigrants started asserting under the 14th Amendment birthright citizenship.
Exactly.
And that
Before
is
that,
when
it
things
was not a big problem.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's turn to what is a big problem. 5 caravans headed this way. The Mexican government, as the president said, unwilling or unable to stop them. One suspects unwilling. He is now ready to dispatch 15,000 of our troops to the border, 5,200 of which have already been deployed or underway to get there. Your thoughts on this and how it resolves?
Well, first of all, the president knows what he's talking about on the 14th Amendment. He has the authority to do what he's doing. And I just told him last week, you know, heck, we need to...
No, I wasn't questioning whether he understood that. I'm questioning about. I'm questioning how it resolves.
You know he's got it.
But Congressman,
he
please,
also, I mentioned to him, you know, that we had a Democrat named Woodrow Wilson that set the manner in which you handled this when he sent 75,000 of a new group called National Guard to the border after Pancho Villa's guys came in and killed some people in New Mexico. And the president said he was going to do whatever was necessary. This isn't a gimmick by the Defense Department, and he is committed.
Congressman, for crying out loud, you're answering questions I haven't asked. I'm just asking you how you think it's going to resolve on the border.
Well, I think it's going to resolve with the President of the United States having resolved that they're not coming in. Now, I know he's mentioned tent cities, but once they put a foot on U.S. soil, then they're going to end up in processing, and we may have to have tent cities. What I'm hoping the president will do is just say, our people are on the border. Our military is there. You are not coming in. And if you intend to claim asylum, he needs an executive order to do this. And I haven't heard this happening yet. But an executive order saying if you're going to claim asylum, it must be done in our consulates or embassies where you're coming from. And all those folks will have to go back to one of the consulates or embassies in order to claim asylum. And we don't let them in trying to claim that.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
That's what I'm hoping is going to happen.
Well, I hear you. And it sounds like a pretty good perspective on what we might see.
Lou,
I'm sorry, Congressman, we're out of time. I've got to break away. I apologize. 5 of the former detainees at Guantanamo